Happy Monday, everybody. Okay, so we're going to review what we've already learned about integers or positive and negative numbers. And then today we're also going to go over what to do when you're multiplying or dividing with positive and negative numbers. All right, so let's first backtrack to Friday. We talked a little bit about when we're adding and subtracting with negative numbers. I know you guys remember Professor Snape's lessons on with the potions and the cauldrons. And I gave you guys 3 different strategies on how to figure those out. And you are welcome to use those at any point and any time to help you. So the first strategy we talked about was using your fingers. Remember, starting with the first number and then counting up or down your fingers depending on if it was a positive or negative number. The second strategy I gave you was using a number line. So you can draw your own, or I think Educreations actually has their own background number line you can use. And the third one was to actually draw out the signs. Draw out the positive and negative signs, see what cancel out and what you have left. All right, so those are 3 strategies that will help you with when you're adding and subtracting with integers. So let's look at examples just to review. Example number 1. All right, so let's say we have 5 plus negative 3. All right, so since you can't see me, I'm gonna do the draw out the signs for this one. All right, so I'm going to actually draw out the pluses and the minuses. So if I have 5 pluses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus 3 minuses, 1, 2, 3, we know that a plus and a minus cancel each other out, so we're left with 2 and they're pluses. So I can just say that the number 2, it's a plus 2. I can write the plus in front of it, or I don't have to. Either way is fine. Okay? All right, number 2. Let's look at a magic one. So what if I have 6 minus a negative 2? Now, if you remember, whenever we have a minus and a minus right next to each other, we say, pff, magic happens, and they magically both turn into pluses. So this turns into just a 6 plus a regular 2, which is 8. We could write plus 8. We don't really need to. All right, this one, I'm going to write it down, and I want you to pause the video after I write it before I show the answer, and I want you to do it. Okay, so negative 3 minus a negative, now watch out for it, 3. Okay, do your magic, pause the video, get your answer, and then play the video to see what the answer is. So hopefully you did the pausing. All right, and you have your answer, and now you're ready to see what happens. Now, if you see, there should be some magic here, because we have a minus and a minus right next to each other. So, poof, the magic happens. These both turn into pluses. Not the first one, it stays a minus, because it's not right next to the other ones. So what we have is negative 3 plus 3. So if I do my pluses and minuses, I have 3 minuses from the first number, 1, 2, 3. And I have 3 pluses from the second number, 1, 2, 3. And since we said a plus and a minus cancel each other out, what do we have left? Well, there's nothing left. So it's 0. All right. Let's look at what happens if you have a bit bigger numbers. Okay. So example number, I think this is 4. What if we have bigger numbers? What if we have negative 388 plus 120? Okay. So if you notice, both these numbers have different signs. And when I say sign, I mean that this is a negative number and this is a positive number. So when 2 numbers have different signs, okay, different signs, you find the difference. Find the difference. Does that make sense? Different, if they have different signs, find the difference. So difference means we're doing subtraction. So ignore the fact that they have a minus and a plus, and since they're different signs, find the difference. So let's just, difference is subtraction, so I'm going to pretend like this is just a regular old subtraction problem. 8 minus 0 is 8, 8 minus 2 is 6, 3 minus 1 is 2. So our answer is 268, but now we have to make a decision because we have to give our answer a plus or a minus sign. It's either going to be minus 268 or plus 268. And since the bigger number, 388, actually has the minus sign, we're going to give our answer the minus sign. So the bigger number's sign always wins. Let's look at another one. What if we have negative 420, okay, plus 38. So go ahead and pause the video and you find the answer, and then when you're done, play it and see if you got what I got. Alright, so hopefully you have your answer by now. Now, notice they have different signs. This one's a negative and this one's a positive. So we're going to find the difference. We're going to subtract. We're going to pretend it's a subtraction problem since they're different. And we can't do 0 minus 8, so we gotta borrow. 10 minus 8 is 2. We can't do 1 minus 3, so we gotta borrow. So it's 11 minus 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Do 8. And then we have a 3 here, just bring that down. Now, which number is bigger, the 420 or the 38? Well, 420, if ignoring the plus or the minus, 420 on its own is bigger. So I'm going to take them, it's a minus, so I'm going to say my answer is minus 382. Okay, different signs, find the difference. What if they're the same signs? Okay, number 6. What if I have negative 300 minus 100? When they are the same signs, okay, when they're the same signs, you just put them together. Just put them together. So since, if we look at this as negatives, you could draw out 300 negatives and then draw out 100 negatives, okay, and you would end with a total of 400 negatives, okay? This would be like owing somebody $300 and owing somebody else $100, so now you owe a total of $400, okay? So the same signs, you put them together. So here, you do this one, do number 7. Do negative 328 minus 149. Pause the video, find the answer. Okay, so hopefully at this point you found your answer. So let's take a look. They are the same signs. They're both negative numbers, so we're just going to put them together. Remember, this is like owing someone $328 and owing somebody $149. Altogether, you have to owe them, well, let's see, 8 plus 9 is 17, carry the 1. Then we have 6 plus 1 is 7, 3 plus 1 is 4. So altogether, you're owing, or negative, $477. All right, so one last area we have here. Multiplying and dividing. Multiplying and dividing is a little bit easier because you multiply like normal and you divide like normal, but there are some rules. Okay, there are some rules. And this is the kind of thing that you'll want to copy like at the top of a quiz or a test as soon as you get it so you don't have to remember them. Okay? And these rules go with multiplying or dividing. Okay? One of the rules says when you are multiplying or dividing two negative numbers, the answer is going to be a positive number. Okay, so a negative and a negative is going to equal a positive. Same with positive. A positive and a positive will equal a positive. Okay, so like -2 times -6. Well, 2 times 6 is 12, and since they're both negatives, they're the same sign, your answer is going to be positive 12 or normal 12. Just like a normal 2 times a normal 6 would be just a normal 12, right? They're all positive. So we say the same signs equal a positive answer. This is when you're multiplying or dividing only. Don't get that part wrong. Now, the other piece to this, when you have different signs. So if you have a minus times a positive or a positive times or divided by a minus, your answer then will always be a negative. Okay? So if they're different signs, your answer is going to be a negative or a minus. For instance, if I have, I'm going to use the same numbers. If I have a -2 times a positive 3, well, 2 times 3 is 6, and since one of them is negative, my answer is going to be -6. Same for dividing. If I have, let's see, a positive 8 divided by a -2, well, 8 divided by 2 is 4, and since one of them is negative, my answer is going to be -4. Okay? So multiplying and dividing have the same rules. So we say if they have the same signs, the answer is always going to be a plus. If they have different signs, the answer is always going to be a negative. So different or mixed signs, the answer will always be negative. All right, I always say do the multiplying and dividing first, and then give your answer the sign it needs at the end. Okay, so here's just a couple practice ones. Let's see, we're on number 8. Okay, so number 8, if I have -20 divided by 4, I'm just going to write a couple here in a row. Number 9, if I have 6 times -5, 10. If I have -10 times -4, and we'll do one more here, 11. If I have -72 divided by a -8. Okay, so pause the video. These are all multiplication division facts, so do them, get your answers, try to get the right signs, and then hit play and we'll see if you're right. So pause your video. So hopefully you paused your video and you found all your answers, and now you're ready to see if you got these right or not. All right, number 8. 20 divided by 4 is 5, so I write that down. Here I have a minus, and this is a regular, so it's going to be a plus. They're different signs, so my answer is going to be a negative. Okay, different signs, answer is always negative. Number 9, 6 times 5 is 30. This is a negative, this is nothing, so it's a positive. They're different signs, so my answer is going to be a negative. Number 10, 10 times 4 is 40, so I write that. I have a negative times a negative. Same signs will always give me a plus answer, or a positive, or a normal answer. And the last one, number 11, 72 divided by 8 is 9. They're both negative numbers, same signs mean my answer is going to be a positive or a regular number. Okay, and remember, you don't always have to write the positive. You could just write the regular number down. It's okay either way. All right, so now I think you are ready to take your Schoology quiz. I hope you guys stay responsible and respectful and move through the Schoology quiz and the activities the way I know you would if I was there. All right, good luck. And you can message me questions on Schoology if you have questions about this topic. And I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks, guys.